Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to you all, my dear students, to a new lesson. As you see, in this lesson, we're going to start Unit 2 by having the first lesson in Unit 2, which is a comprehension lesson. As you see, let's discuss the title of this lesson at first, Rags to Riches. What do you think this title is? Yes, people who started their life as poor people then became very rich. At first, in this lesson, we are going to read about four figures or four characters, four people who were very poor, then they worked hard to be very rich. Okay? Before reading about these people, we are going to discuss two questions. At first, number one, tell about a person who went from not having much money to being wealthy. Do you think of a person who was very poor, then he became wealthy or very rich? Yes, we can think of a lot of people. For example, yes, Raj, very good. He started as a poor person, then he became very rich. How? This is what you have to search for and learn about in order to learn from these people. Okay, yes. Number two, what qualities do you think a person needs to make a fortune? What qualities do you think a person needs to make a fortune? What are different characteristics? Do you think a person needs to make a fortune to be rich? Yes, he must be clever, he must be patient, very good, and also at the same time, he must be hard working. In this lesson, my dear students, we are going to listen about, or we have to read about four figures. The first one, Amancio Ortega, Abdulatif Jamil, Leka Shane, and Stephen Paul Jobs. We are going to read about these people, focus on the reading, listen well, try to understand the whole meaning of each paragraph about each person in order to learn how was this person poor and how he became rich. Okay, let's start.
Amancio Ortega, worth $31 billion, industry, retail clothing, country of citizenship, Spain. Amancio Ortega is the founder and chairman of a company that owns many stores, including the enormously popular international clothing store, Zara. Now Spain's richest man, Ortega is the son of a railroad worker and had no formal higher education. When Ortega was 13, he worked as a delivery boy for a shirt maker and later became the manager of a clothing store. He began making clothing in his living room and selling it to local stores. Ortega had an ability to predict what styles were going to be popular and to create these styles with inexpensive materials. In 1975, Ortega opened his first Zara store. Zara gained a reputation for selling designer fashions at reasonable prices. Today, Ortega's company has more than 4,000 stores in 71 countries.
Sheikh Abdul Latif Jamil, worth $5.1 billion, industry, business, country of citizenship, Saudi Arabia. A great philanthropist and prominent businessman, Mohammed Abdul Latif Jamil, president of ALJ, runs one of the world's largest car dealerships, with operations in the Middle East, UK, Central Asia, and China. A leading figure in corporate social responsibility, he has initiated a series of initiatives against poverty and has contributed greatly to the government's Saudiization program in the kingdom by promoting thousands of jobs every year through the ALJ community services programs. Abdul Latif Jamil is an MIT alumni, member of the Board of Trustees, and dedicated supporter of the Abdul Latif Jamil Poverty Action Lab, JPAL. He has been named Saudi Volunteer of the Year for 2012 in recognition of the services offered by the ALJCI in Saudi Arabia and the rest of the Arab world. Li Ka-shing, worth $26.5 billion. Industry, business, country of citizenship, China. Li was born into an impoverished family in China in 1928. When he was 15, his father died, forcing Li to leave high school so that he could work to support his family. He took a job in a plastics company where he would work 16 hours a day. At this company, Li used to assemble plastic flowers. By 1950, Li had started his own plastics manufacturing company. His company prospered, which led Li to expand his business into many different fields. However, his successes are not all monetary. Li Ka-shing has a reputation for being honest and generous. In fact, he is one of Asia's most prominent philanthropists and has announced plans to donate 1/3 of his wealth to charity. Stephen Paul Jobs, 1955 to 2011. Worth $8.3 billion. Industry, computer design. Country of citizenship, U.S. Stephen Paul Jobs was born in 1955 and adopted into a working-class family. He grew up in what later became Silicon Valley. He dropped out of college because he could not afford to pay his tuition. In the late 70s, he co-founded Apple with Steve Wozniak and others, and proceeded to develop and market the first successful lines of personal computers. He eventually resigned from Apple over an argument with the board of directors in 1984 and founded Next. Apple's buyout of Next in 1997 brought Jobs back to Apple as its CEO. He was the largest individual shareholder of the Walt Disney Company and a member of the board. Jobs was admired by many for his entrepreneurial skills, his foresight, and his ability to create and support products that were both functional and aesthetically pleasing.
Okay. Now, my dear students, we are going to learn how to focus on some new words or some difficult words. Here, look at these words. At first, we have to complete these sentences using one of these or all these words at first. We have to repeat or to learn how to say these words. Repeat after me, please. Excel. Excel. Yes. Philanthropist. Philanthropist. Yes. Reputation. Reputation. Impoverishing. Impoverishing. Prominent. Prominent. Yes. Very good. Now, my dear students, what do you think of the meanings of these words? Of course, it's very easy for you to look up all these words in your dictionary or ask someone who knows the meanings of these words. But don't do so. I ask you to try to guess the meaning from the context. Here we have 5 sentences. In each sentence, you can guess the missing word and you can guess the missing meaning. Okay, let's start number 1. Here, number 1. Not only was Jake an excellent student in high school, but he plays in sports as well. Excellent sports as well. Yes, he was an excellent student. And at the same time, he also was excellent in sports. So here, this is an adjective. I want the form of the verb from this adjective. What's the verb form of this adjective? Yes, excellent you are. Yes, very good. Excel. So here, he excelled. He excelled in sports as well. Yes, put this answer in your mind. Number 2, he has a space for being one of the greatest doctors in the field of neurosurgery. He has a space for being one of the greatest doctors. So here, people say that he is one of the greatest doctors. When people talk about you, talking about your qualities, talking about your skills, now this is your Yes, very good. Reputation. Reputation. So what's someone's reputation? What good qualities people talk about him when they are talking about someone. So when people are talking about you, talking about your good qualities, this means that you have a good reputation. Very good, excellent. Keep these answers in your mind. Number three, my professor is a space economist. So he is an economist. This is a kind of jobs who is often quoted in magazines. Quoted in magazines means his articles are in magazines, his news are in magazines. So he is a well-known economist. He is a famous economist. Yes, very good. He is a prominent economist. So a prominent person, a person who is well known, is famous, and so on. So here, the correct word is prominent. Number four, the charity I donate to help build schools in space areas. Here, the key word, the word donate. What does it mean for someone to donate to do something? Of course, to volunteer. Yes, very good. To give freely. So when you give freely, now you denote. Like what? Donate blood donation. Very good, excellent. So here, when we donate to help to build the schools, in which areas? Rich areas or poor areas? Very good. Poor areas. Can you get a word that has the same meaning of word poor? Excellent. You are very good. Impoverished. So impoverished areas means not rich areas, poor areas. Very good. Number five, businessman and space Sulaiman al-Rajhi gives millions of dollars to charities each year. What are charities? These are places that take money from rich people and give to poor people. Yes, very good. So here this person, Sulaiman al-Rajhi, is a millionaire, but he gives freely to these charities. So we can say that he is a businessman and at the same time he philanthropist. He is very good. Philanthropist. Very, very good. Excellent you are. Now it's your role to give your answers. You have 1 minute to give your answers. Okay, now check your answers. Very good. Now, my dear students, to make sure you understood all the paragraphs about the 4 people from rags to rich, you have to answer these questions. So for comprehension, answer these questions. Number 1, why was Zara successful? Zara. So you have to look back at the first paragraph. Very good. Why was Zara successful? Yes, it bought its products at a reasonable price. Yes, very good. Excellent job. So it sold designer fashions at a reasonable price, low price, not expensive. Its products were not expensive. They were at a reasonable price. Very good. Number 2. Why was Abdulatif Jamil named Saudi Volunteer of the Year? Saudi Volunteer of the Year. This is a title which was given to Abdulatif Jamil. Why? Yes, very good. What did he do? Yes, he gave a lot of money to charities. Very good. So here, Abdulatif Jamil offered services in Saudi Arabia and the rest of the Arab world. It's very good. Number 3. How has Abdulatif Jamil contributed to Saudization program in Saudi Arabia? What Saudization program? This is a kind of program that the Saudi government adopted in order to make all Saudis or to provide Saudis with different jobs. Of course, Abdulatif Jamil contributed to this program. How? By offering thousands of jobs for Saudis. Yes, very good. So here, Abdulatif Jamil by offering thousands of job opportunities on an annual basis. Very good. Number 4, what challenges did Li Ka-shing face early in life? Challenges means problems, difficulties. What did he face early in his life? Very good. He was forced to leave his high school to support his family. Excellent, you are very good. So he was poor and had to leave high school when his father died to help support his family. Very good. Number 5, what did Stephen Jobs do in his teens that demonstrated his determination, skills, and foresight? Yes, my dear heroes, this is your turn. Number 6, which event in your view must have given Jobs a great sense of satisfaction and self-worth? So, number 5, number 6, these 2 points are your homework. Try to do this homework by going back to the lesson, reading the paragraph about Stephen Jobs to do these 2 questions. Okay, thank you very much, my dear students. I ask you to listen and read the lesson again and again. At the same time, you have to memorize the most important words we discussed, and also going through the comprehension questions in order to make sure of your comprehension. Thank you very much, my dear students. Inshallah, we're going to meet next week in a new lesson. Thank you very much. Goodbye.